Good morning. Welcome to Your Known Unknown, where Source and I will help shed light on what's unknown for you. Welcome to your daily spread. And without further ado, let's get to it. Let's into it. Let's pull some cards for the day. Thank you. First card up, use your imagination and you'll see the answer. That's an impressive card to come up right now in particular, because I've actually just been going down this rabbit hole of self-understanding literature and videos of kind of what the imagination really is, in a sense. And your imagination is pure, raw, creative potential. So don't forget that. Use your imagination. I've been learning that this true, most in its rawest form essence of what imagination is source or God potential inside of all of us. We have a human body. We have physical, material, light reality that manifests into this tangible experience. But then what is this going on in our mind, right? And if it can be anything and everything, doesn't that kind of dictate what it's referring to, what it's connected with somehow? It's got to be something more than just the mind, than just a brain having random thoughts, right? Right. It's an imagination. It's a creative potential. It's everything. So the prayer that goes with that. Dear God, thank you for granting me the wisdom and creativity to see your miracles in new and unexpected ways. I gratefully and gracefully accept and appreciate your help. So that's nice. Use your imagination and you'll see the answer. And you notice how it's kind of like a gratefulness affirmation at the bottom of it too. So they do correspond with each other. They're very cooperative. At the bottom it says, describe the situation. So thank you. It says, I gratefully and gracefully accept and appreciate your help. And then it says, describe the situation. So when I do my gratefulness practices, I not only say like, I am so, just for example, I'm so deeply grateful for blah, blah, blah. Whatever that is. And then to put it into like real play, to take it out of just words and feelings and actually put it into a feeling of gratefulness, what I say is, I'm so deeply grateful for blah, blah, blah. Without it, or if I was not guided by you, I would be without. And so for this, I am thankful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You know, I have the intention of what I'm grateful for, and then I shift it to what it would be like without it, and then I bring it back to the gratefulness again, all within like 3 sentences, 3 quick thoughts that came from my imagination, right? You have the same power. I didn't just it's not like I'm the type of person to just come up with these gratefulness prayers. It came out of practice. They sucked at first. They sucked. My gratefulness journals sucked before I started to like really practice that muscle, and before that muscle really became present. So use your imagination. And another thing too I like to think of is the imagination is fleeting. Your thoughts are ever fleeting. So using your imagination kind of requires you, depending on your level of focus and like mental concentration and discipline, it's better to turn whatever's up here into something that can stay here in this realm. Write it on a piece of paper. Create it. Whatever you're envisioning, make it so it's there. Just make the idea. You can perfect it, revise it later. You can always go back and revamp anything. But like, you take your imagination, and instead of just witnessing it, the card says use it. Use it. Apply it. Start, and you'll see the answer. I've noticed with this whole guidance thing and with this ancestral protection and spirit protection and whatever, and all of the stuff that is happening to me, I noticed that the theme of this is that spirit, source, God, angels, guides, ancestors, they just show you the gate and they open it up. All right? They don't make it like they don't close it up or anything. It's just it evades your imagination, your mind's eye after that, right? You're on to the next thoughts. And it needs to become tangible. It needs to be created somehow. But they just open the gate for you to see and peer in. They don't go much further than that until you take those steps. And after you take those steps, they kind of just move the other stuff along. As you're walking forward, they're kind of like, and get rid of that one. Okay, and you take another step, get rid of that one, take another step. They're not like, hey, you're going to take all these hundreds of thousands of steps down your journey and look at all the stuff we're getting away. It doesn't work that way. If it worked that way, you could see the future. If we can't really see the future, we can expect. Some people are predictors, but more often than not, we can anticipate an expected future. Kind of like what Joe Dispenza talks about. You know, you want to rewrite that by putting yourself in the present moment. And in simpler terms of what Joe Dispenza said, really putting yourself in the simpler moment is not expecting what you are about to anticipate. That's it. Just live in the present. Be here now is what they say, right? And that's hard. You have to remind yourself constantly, be present. Anytime I'm frustrated, I don't have an answer, I have zero clarity or anything, I take one breath and I'm like, dude, remind myself, be here now. Like, you're thinking. I don't even label it as overthinking anymore. I just label it as you're thinking. Stop thinking. Stop thinking. Thinking's what's gotten me here so far. And if reality isn't up to your liking, then maybe try to stop thinking. Try imagining. It's hard to do with trauma. Just by the way, I'm going to validate that right here for you right now. It is very difficult to continue imagining when you have mental illness or traumas related to things, you know, when your brain chemistry is affected related to trauma and stuff like that. You tend to have these cover-ups or these blindfolds about you that are tricky to see through that veil. It's like this veil of confusion, blindness, uncertainty, and it's not a constant thing, which is really tricky too. Sometimes with trauma, you actually are intuiting. Sometimes those aren't your thoughts and they're real guidance. But at the same time, sometimes it really is you. And the thing about trauma is it kind of creates this muddle over your self's clarity. Your self's clarity. Like if I had a best friend, he would be my best friend because I could transparently expect and see through him. I would trust him. And when you get traumatized, you kind of, that's affected. That self to self is affected. And it takes some work. So if that helps validate anybody at all, if you're feeling scared, confused from your past, yeah, guilt, Guilt can can shroud the visions of imagination, like really tampers it. What it does for me is it causes a lot of procrastination, lots of guilt. I release my beliefs that no longer assist in my soul's growth. Yeah. Easier said than done, right, bro? But it's not wrong. And that is what we got to work with here. Guilt. So we're looking at use your imagination. It's got answers. And the guilt card wanting to pop up, and we're going to find out why. So maybe you're feeling guilty about stuff. It's kind of a vague human thing, you know, not to clickbait you or anything, but maybe you do feel really guilty about something. Maybe we're going to see what you feel guilty about. We'll see. Let's pull one more oracle card. Then we'll pull a couple tarot cards. Number 13, effort. So, these cards smell good. So, effort. And the number 13 being a really special card. Just a special number in general. I feel like it's very fitting for this time of year. We're going into Capricorn season. We're still around Sagittarius, Capricorn the devil, number 13. They do correspond with each other. Alright. Angels, spirits, guides, ancestors. We're going to clarify this right here. Let's pull a few tarot cards and see what Source wants to explain why these oracle cards are out for us today. So I got the Star reversed. Don't slip up. Okay, yeah, 3 of Cups. Star reverse, 3 of Cups, 9 of Cups. Do you want these reversed? Yeah, for the beginning, cool. So it's kind of like continue trying, continue what you're doing. It's paying off. Put a little bit more effort and attention towards your purpose and then what you already have. I see that socially you're pretty in tune and adapting well. Finding some comfort in more small interactions rather than large, deep, profound interactions with people. You have a small group. It's very helpful, resourceful, whatever. See that there's some blockages towards a purpose and some blockages towards our gratefulness here, towards our vision of gratefulness, not just like our practice. There's some belief blockage. Belief blockage. And that can come with, like, what helps belief blockage? Proof. Tangible, validating proof. Evidence of what you're doing paying off. And that's hard to do in this world of instant gratification. Believe me. Divine timing takes a lot of patience, and I find out years of waiting for something to come through. Yeah, it sure friggin' does take a lot of patience. But does it really take a lot of patience, or does it take the perfect amount of patience? Really, it's just us who are working quicker and want it now and are not willing to be fully patient for whatever it is that we're wanting, really. You know? What about that? What if it actually is your fault? What if it is actually your fault? And you're the one being like, I'm being pushy. Yeah. You made a manifestation for 2024 that hasn't come true yet. You think Spirit really gives a shit when you get your presents? No. Spirit doesn't fucking care when you get your presents. They know when you get your presents, and they know it will be perfect when you get it. It's up to you to be grateful when you get it. That's it. Recognize it. Just keep working a little harder, 1% every day. It's kind of what I'm seeing here on these cards. Keeping you, people like you, they really do. Whether you feel it or believe it or not, they really do. There is community that you've created, whether it be one person, whether it be a service animal, it doesn't matter. You have your relationship around you that you are curating, and you are, that's good. That's already, the ball's rolling on that. So just keep going with that. It's the Star reverse and the Nine of Cups reverse where I'm like, okay, there's more self in there that needs to be connected with to make you turn this Nine of Cups reverse into regular Nine of Cups. Some independence, which is the Queen of Swords. Do whatever makes you happy. Think whatever thoughts you want. You're allowed to think anything, anytime you want. Worst thing that can happen is you're not focusing. That's it. So, use your imagination. It's got the answers for you. You don't have to focus so hard. Yes. Prince of Swords. We have the Queen of Swords. We have the Prince of Swords. Thoughts. Mind. Determination. Independence. The Emperor. That's right. So just like a reminder, you don't want to be where those last cards were. You want to be here. And this is where you are. This is what it takes. This is what we're going into. We're going into this determination, independence. You're stepping into Emperor energy. This is real control. And you're doing it from this place of wonder. You're curious. You're curious about what life could be like if it's better. Your spiritual journey is driven by wonder and curiosity. At least mine is. I'm not guided by goals in my spiritual journey. I am guided by solely curiosity. Let's let us down some paths that are irreversible, to say the least. But that growth is permanent as well. I'm being called to watch them. Look at something. Determination, independence, and the Emperor. I'm seeing exactly in a different sense what the cards prior are saying, and it's just in a different way. It's kind of like saying, your thoughts are I don't want to say limited because it's bad. It's your thoughts have a limit on them. They're capped. We want to have a limitless imagination, and you're the one capping it. And how you're capping it is not bad. It's just simply due to the fact that you haven't experienced abundance and unconditional love and things. So you don't know what it looks like. You don't know what to expect. And so that's okay. This is where we got to let go. This is where we got to not have that guilt. This is where we got to not beat ourselves up for not feeling like we're not advanced somewhere to where we're supposed to be. You're not supposed to be anywhere. You're exactly where you're supposed to be right now. You're supposed to have these failures. You're supposed to have these relapses, these trip ups, these arguments, these things that help you grow into the person that you're supposed to be. So much ha-ha in life. Soon enough, boo-hoo, right? The pendulum flows. But your pendulum has flowed so long in one direction your whole life, since Pluto and the age of Aquarius has been transitioned into it. It's since prior to that, the pendulum's tipping the other way for you. Because that's just fair now. And it is something you're not used to. So you can't see it. Every step illuminates more and more of the path, and that's where the curiosity wants to come through. That's like the only thing pushing you is, this is a scary, dark forest, man, that we're walking through alone. Alone is the key here. The key word. You're alone in your mind. What I'm seeing here is change your thoughts. You are changing your thoughts. You're getting more control over your thoughts. You're seeing it. You're turning that star in reverse into your purpose, your true north node, your gifting, charitable self, the humanitarian of yourself. You're turning those Nine of Cups reversed from a lack mentality and feeling like you still got more of your own cup to fill. You're already infinitely full. You're just learning how to express and feel your own fullness more and more. And it's tricky because with each step, it's kind of like you calibrate to the normalness of that fullness. And so that's where meditation and reflection are really important to help validate yourself that you're doing good. Because look at where you were at last year. If you're in a worse spot now than you were last year, it's probably because sometime last year or the year before, sometime in the past, you might have made some nonchalant wish in your mind, being like, God, I wish I could find my true self's purpose. Or, God, I wish I could step into my power. God, I wish I could align with my higher self. And I bet you really tried. And I bet you really should have been careful what you wished for, because it's sending you on a spiritual journey. And that spiritual journey has sent you inward. And that's new territory, right? Very unfamiliar territory. So embrace the unknown. I'm happy to always explain and help console and comfort what that can entail. And while you're going through it, feel free to reach out. We can become friends and family. I'm open to it. I'm available for you, viewer. If you have any questions, always please feel free to reach out. How do I find comfort and knowing that my mental illnesses have been holding me back? Dude, let's talk about it. I would love to sit and talk to anybody about this stuff all day long. I have resources, wazoo. I have tricks, tips, practicalities. They're just all up here, and they don't come out until the mirror that I'm experiencing wants me to mirror help for them. That's the way this works. I don't know what this tarot reading is going to be about until I'm in it. That's the way it works. I don't know how my garden's going to turn out until I'm growing it. That's the way it works. You don't know how to get help until you get it. Right? Which is really funny about tarot this whole future pulling and stuff. No. Because things are subject to change. Yes, it's possible. But things are always subject to change. And what I'm really pulling and reading is the energy that you already sense. We just validate it and put it into ways that maybe help see things from a different point of view. And that's all we're doing, is trying to have source experience itself from another point of view infinitely and forever. And that's what you are. You're one of those points of infinity forever. And I am too. I'm my own soul. And they're their own soul. My dog's their own soul. My parents are their own souls. Yeah. We're all these points in source experience. So if you need help with anything, feel free to reach out. No pressure. Good morning. Blockage card. Okay. It's the Six of Cups, and it came out reversed. And on this card in particular, it's that tree I've used before, shown before. As above, so below. It should be as above, so below. But we got the roots all frazzled up, right? I like it better that way. But that's chaos. Undefined raw chaos. Okay. Address the deeper meanings, the deeper ties. Address the deeper demons, grips, thoughts. If you overeat, if you binge watch Netflix, if you self-sabotage, if you have a sex addiction, if you watch pornography, if you do drugs, smoke cigarettes, drink, anything like that, steal. If there's something that you are like, that's your thing, that's what wakes you up in the morning, and it's not a healthy thing, it's actually kind of like, it's something you hide, like there's a deeper seated reason as towards that. So if what I'm getting at is like, let's just say addiction, vaping, cigarettes, whatever, you really want to get rid of that, you really want to make it easy, address the underlying emotion that's connected to why you do that in the first place. So your goal isn't maybe they go hand in hand, all right? So instead of doing one thing so deeply, you do two things step by step. So you want to address the underlying emotion or trauma or childhood issue, whatever, something like that. You want to address what it is. Why do you smoke? Why do you overeat? Why do you distract yourself with the Netflix addiction? What feels so good about that every day? When you could be disciplining, when you could be doing this. For me, my realist answer is it's comfortable, and I want to be comfortable, but I've noticed that comfortability kills my body. Comfortability doesn't help grow a stronger sense of self. It does allow me time to heal, but don't get trapped in healing with comfort, because healing's growth too. When a tree gets chopped right in the side of it, and it heals, well, it also doesn't want to stay, it doesn't want to keep that wound at the same level of its environment where it already got affected. It wants to grow it out. It's like, hey, I got chopped right here. Screw humans, they're 7 feet tall, I want this scar to go up to be 9 feet tall now. Like, it's kind of like that. It wants to grow out of your scars, grow out of your convictions, grow out of your traumas, and you have to imagine it to do that. Really, like, it's so hard with trauma to have like self empowerment again and stuff. I get it, and like have that passion to get things done and feel good about it, but what it starts with is intention. Like for the holidays, I want to make these gifts and crafts. I can jump into the gifts and crafts, or I can plan a little bit ahead of time and anticipate that I want to make the best crafts that I can make. not that's ever been made, that I can make right now. And then, honestly, usually like 8 out of 10 times, my best can come out. The best job I can possibly do comes out. Not my own perfect job, not my 10 out of 10, but like, I'll give it a B plus. I like it. That is enough, is what they say. That's good enough. I think that that's a good recipe to help. Procrastination and stuff is the saying. Instead of perfectionism, that's good enough. That's what we want to sit in. So I don't know. I think we're complete. Here we're complete. We're gonna end it there. Yeah. We got the lovers on the bottom of the deck to sum it all up. It was the lovers reverse, so also be weary of your outside lessons, mirrors, and expressional examples that people are, as well as things can be. Just be careful with them. Don't let them get you, whatever that means to you. But don't let them affect you. Be smart. You are smart. You're a free thinker if you're here, or at least you're trying to be. And if you're trying to be, you will be someday, I promise. That's the way intention works. That's the way attention and intention work. All right? You made a wish. Whether you like it or not, it's there and presented in front of you, and it's gonna come true, And so Spirit's like, hey, careful what you wish for, Really, choose your thoughts and words wisely, because they could come to fruition just like that, or like what we see a lot of the time, they could take a really long time, because the best things in life take time. The best things in life take time. Take a deep breath with me, if you would, so we can close out this reading from wherever you're at in the world, for whatever reason. After I burp real quick. All right. Thank you for being with me today, and I hope you all have a beautiful, beautiful day. Until next time.